The First Omen just hit theaters last week. I had a chance to see it, and even though I'm a little bit late on the review, let's go ahead and talk about The First Omen. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cinema Sermons. My name is Kevin, and The First Omen is a prequel to the 1976 original film titled The Omen. I just watched that for the first time in preparation for this film, and I gotta say, right off the gate, this movie is everything that a prequel should be. So jumping into the positives, this movie does a good job of being a period piece without making it overt. Like a lot of times when there's a movie that takes place in the 60s or 70s, you're just gonna get bombarded with music from that era. Be like, hey, remember this song? Don't you like it? We're in the 70s now. This movie just really organically makes it feel like it was in the late 60s or early 70s. From costume design to set design to even a lot of the shots that they did in the movie. This was a perfect marrying of old school filmmaking and modern filmmaking, because there were some shots and things that were done in a cinematography sense that made it feel like it was from that era of film, and I thought that was really well done.
You must be very careful, Margaret.
All of the performances were great. The actors and actresses did a great job. It's not a jump out and scare you, booga booga nun movie. It's a slow psychological thriller. It's a slow burn where, you know, obviously if you've seen the original Omen, you know what's gonna happen, but the seeing the conspiracies come in and all these people are there to bring about the Antichrist, it was very, very interesting. It was a good movie. Some very disturbing imagery. There were some scenes where I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I cannot believe they showed it. Apparently this movie was gonna have an NC-17 rating and they had to fight for an R rating with the MPAA. I believe it, because I can't believe they showed that, and I really wish, I was like, oh my gosh. No. Anyway, that was horrible, but it works out for this movie. And on that note, they stick to what they go for. They go for a, you know, hey, we're gonna take this seriously and we're gonna go all out, and they do that. There's things in the first movie that are alluded to of Damien's actual parentage and who he really comes from, and he was not born of a woman, he was born of a jackal and stuff like that. They go for it in this movie, dude. They double down on it. It was not metaphorical. Yeah, this movie does a really good job of bringing all that in. Getting into my negatives, and really these are more mixed than anything else rather than an actual negative, because it was such a well done movie. There's some things in the first movie, the lore that's kind of established of this is what happened, where in this movie it kind of undoes that just a little bit, to where even I'm like Googling on my phone in the movie, don't worry, I was all the way at the back and it was an empty theater, but I'm Googling on my phone, I'm like, wait, wasn't this what happened in the first movie? So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was expecting something to happen that never did because of what was established, but it didn't take away from how good the movie was at all. The first movie is kind of known for those accidental deaths of like anyone who comes against Damien ends up dying in a crazy way. There's a few of those in here, but not nearly as much, especially when that's what that original film was known for.
It's all, you know, don't.
So those are minor gripes. Those are more, and again, more mixed than negative for me, but they were some things that kind of took me out of the film. As someone who is a Christian and believes in the Antichrist entirely and believes that all these things will come, the abomination of desolation, him declaring himself as God in the third temple, all of those things, they did get some theology off, but I'm not gonna trip out about that too much, man. It's a Hollywood movie. But again, those are really the only gripes I have with the movie. It was really well done. I was thoroughly shocked. So getting into my final rating, again, man, I had very low expectations coming into this movie. I thought it was gonna suck. I thought it was gonna be a very cheap cash grab where they just go off of an old, you know, property like The Exorcist Believer and it just ended up sucking. That was not the case. The First Omen was really well done, man. I have not seen a prequel that was this good in a very long time. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. I'm giving it a solid B+, dude. This was a good movie. This was really well done. So, that is all I have for today. Have you seen The First Omen? If you did, what did you think about it? Did that scene freak you out too, man? Where you're just like, oh my gosh. Let me know down in the comments. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It helps out the channel tremendously. And remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. See you guys. I walked off the wrong, I always walk off this way, don't I? I don't remember.